everyone, and welcome to Yoga with Dorit. Barney and I are here today to do a little practice with you for the legs and the feet. We might just get into the upper thighs, the hips. For those days where you've either had a super active day physically, where you've gone running, where you've golfed, played tennis, and been on your feet for many, many hours, or if you just simply suffer from tired legs. This happens to a lot of people, and I feel that the legs and the feet are generally underserved when it comes to our tender, loving care and attention. So today we're going to spend the next 10 minutes. Let's get to it, taking care of the feet and the legs. We're going to start in a standing posture, and I want you to bring your feet right underneath your hips if this is comfortable for you. So for some people with hip issues, this might not be comfortable. So obviously, as always, you will modify to make sure that it feels good in your body. If possible, we bring the feet directly underneath the hips here. A little bit of this internal rotation so that the outsides of both feet are parallel to each other. For many people, that feels a little pigeon-toed, and so that's okay, and that's only because most of the time we are external rotated walking around or standing like this. So taking a moment to stand in mountain pose, and just the standing posture, I want you to just separate your toes, all 10 toes nice and wide, and feel the webbing between each toe, and then press through all four corners of your feet. So just befriend the fact that you have four corners of your foot. Press into the toes, make your way all the way to pressing into the pinky, and then press through your heel and feel how you have both sides of your heel. You've got the inside part of the heel and the outer part of your heel. So as you press through all four corners of your feet like this, you're even going to feel the arch of your foot a little more active, alive. As you press through your feet, just get a little taller here. Mountain pose. Good. Just starting by feeling nice and stable and grounded and rooted. And then release the spread of the toes here, so coming back to a more natural stance. Again, if you're uncomfortable with the feet narrow here underneath the hip bones, just come to a little bit of a wider position, see what works in your body. And then very gently, we're going to start by coming onto our tippy toes here. So coming up onto your tippy toes, and then coming all the way back. Just giving the backs of the toes a little bit of a stretch here, coming up onto your tippy toes. Good. You hear creaking, that's not my body, it's the floor. Inhaling, coming up. Let's add a little breath work here. Exhaling, coming back down. And nice and slowly with control, coming all the way back up, nice and slow. And slowly coming back in. Good. And then let's give the legs a little bit of a shake out. Sometimes that feels really, really, really good. Getting the blood flowing. Good, a little movement here. Very slowly coming back to having both feet underneath your hips. Press through the left foot and just hug your right knee in. We're getting a little bit of core involvement here, holding your balance. Let's start to do some nice circles with that right foot. And then I'm going to invite you to circle in the opposite direction. If you would like to do this next to a wall, because the balance is too much of a challenge, you can always be next to a wall doing this. Good, and holding on to this imaginary wall here. Let's place the right foot back down on the floor. Good. And coming all the way back, pressing through the right foot this time, hugging the left knee in, getting a nice stretch here, and starting to do some circles with that left ankle. Keep breathing fully and completely here, and then switch directions, just a couple more. Please remember, you could be holding onto a wall or a chair here, it doesn't matter. Just getting that nice stretch in the ankles, good. And then let's come to a wide stance. You obviously do not have to be on a mat here. And keep all 10 toes forward. Okay, so you don't want your toes pointing out, you want them forward here. So I'm going to mirror you here. Place your hands on your right upper thigh. Bend into that right knee. Keep the other foot flat for starters. So the foot is flat on the floor. Feel that nice stretch here on the inner thigh. Push into the outer part of your left leg, of your left foot. Good. And then let your toes point up towards the ceiling. Left toes point up. Feel that nice stretch in the calf. And you're really bending into this right knee. Relax your shoulders. Try not to slump down here. Keep the back nice and long, and just feel that beautiful stretch on the inner part of your thigh here on the left leg and on the hamstring. As you point your toes in towards, you feel that calf stretch. Good. And then place that left foot back down on the floor. Remember, your toes point forward and bring your weight to the left side. We'll start by keeping that right foot flat on the floor. Remember the length in the spine here. Most people, when they come over, you find they hunch and they're looking down. So find length in your spine. You'll feel much better in every posture. Push into the outer part of that right foot. And from here, let your right toes point up towards the ceiling, feeling a nice stretch in the hamstring. Good. Let all the weight come into this left leg. Find both corners of the front foot here. And then press into your heel, your left heel. Have your whole foot take the weight here. Good. And then slowly coming all the way back. Good. Keep your stance wide here, and then sort of heel, toe, just like this. Heel, toe, and keep your stance a little bit wider than your hips here, and then have the toes point out. Good. As we inhale, let's bring the arms all the way up, and as we exhale, bring your elbows down towards your rib cage, and let the knees just fall towards the toes and work the inner thighs so that the knees don't cave in here. Open as wide as you can, just working the hip flexors here. And we'll do 2 or 3 more. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, bring your elbows down here, squeeze your shoulder blades together and tailbone pulling in towards the floor. 2 more. Inhale, reach up. Press through all 4 corners of your feet. Exhale, coming back down. Really opening, working to open the hip flexors here. 1 more time, reach the arms up, separate your fingers wide, and exhale, coming back down. Stay down with me here. Let's take a couple of breaths. Let the tailbone pull into the floor. Don't let the knees cave in towards the center. Really press them open as much as you can. Take another full breath here. Separate your fingers wide, activity into the webbing of the fingers here, and then coming all the way back up. Good. Let the hands come back to the waist. And heel toe a little bit more so that you come back to having your feet directly underneath the hip bones here. Good. We're going to do another little opening for the back body here, back of the legs. As we inhale, bring the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, fold forward, let your hips glide towards the back of the room, and let the head be heavy. And we're going to grab onto opposing elbows here. So this is called Ragdoll Pose. Right hand is grabbing the left elbow, left hand grabs the right, and let the head be heavy. Bend your knees as generously as you need to. You want to let your rib cage melt towards your upper thighs. And from here, press through both feet and push your tailbone up towards the sky, straightening the legs as much as works for you. Feel the nice stretch in the back of the legs. And as you exhale, let the knees bend and let yourself fold just a little more. Rib cage falling towards your thighs. Again, as you inhale, lift the tailbone up towards the sky. Let the head be heavy. Your nose is looking towards your knees. And exhale, bend into the knees. Sit the hips back. Let's do 2 more. As we inhale, tailbone presses up towards the sky, straightening the legs as much as possible. And exhale, bend the knees, let it go. Rib cage coming to rest perhaps on your upper thighs. Last time, as we inhale, head is heavy, nose towards the knees. Lift the tailbone up. And exhale, letting it go. Good. Release your hands down towards the floor and just walk your legs back so that you end up on all 4s. And we're going to be seated on the mat. So just make your way into a seated position. Let's take a moment here and bring the feet in towards each other. Don't worry about crossing the legs here. Just bring them in as close as you can. And I'm just going to invite you to bring the thumb underneath the sole of each foot and give yourself a tiny little massage here. How good does that feel? And really get into it. Work your way from the base of the baby toe. Sort of giving the bottom, the base of each toe a little massage here. To the third toe, second toe, and then to the big toe. Take your time here. Good. And then make your way up into the arch here. So have the thumb pressing into the beginning of the arch, closest to your toe mounds, to the front of your foot. Make your way down. Give it a little massage right into the middle of the arch. Good. The other fingers are just pressing into the top of the foot. You might be massaging just a little bit here, but it's your thumbs that are doing the work. Give the lower part, the back part of the arch, a little bit of a massage here as you're making your way towards your heel. Good, and then let's release. Bring the legs in towards each other. Extend the legs completely. Give them a little shake here. Good, and then bringing it in, I'm going to invite you to bring your knees in towards you, just like this. The feet are on the floor. Lift your heart a little bit so the arms are behind you. A little demonstration from the side. Arms are behind you here, and you don't want to be slouching. So you want to lift the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together. My knees are bent, feet are on the floor. They don't have to be close to you. They could be slightly away, wherever is comfortable for you. Take a big inhale here. As you exhale, let the knees drop to one side. Nice little hip stretch. Coming back in towards the center. Breathe in. The knees point towards the ceiling. And really letting it go. Remember that full exhale, navel to spine. Do one or two more to each side. With your breath, inhaling into the center, exhaling, letting it go. Good. One more time. Inhaling and exhaling over to the opposite side. Good. As you make your way back in towards the center, make your way all the way down onto the mat. We don't want to disturb our knees. Be nice and careful. Head on the floor. Hug your knees in tight. You can make some nice little circles here so that the low back gets a bit of a massage. Good. And then we'll do one more nice little supine stretch together. So as you bring the knees in towards your chest the next time, grab onto the ankles or the shins, anywhere that's comfortable for you. Relax your shoulders and let the knees open up into a nice butterfly posture. Good. And as you're letting the knees open up and creating a little space in the hip flexors here, start to do a few little circles with your ankles again. And so you're circling in one direction. Let's all change directions. Circle in the opposite direction. Good. Bring the knees in back towards the center. Hug behind your upper thighs. Press the feet up towards the ceiling. Feel how that feels in terms of the back body, the hamstrings. And your feet might not be right above your hips. It doesn't matter where you are. Don't worry about it. I just want you to point and flex here. So point your toes in towards your face and then towards the ceiling. So foot is flexed and then pointing a couple more times. Very nice. And then let's bring the feet back down towards the floor. And then I'm going to invite you to end the practice by bringing yourself close to a wall. So this involves just a little bit of movement here. A little bit of a demonstration. So take a moment. If you have a few more moments to let the legs rest, legs up the wall is a beautiful posture to end with. If you needed to end right there, that would have been a full practice for the legs and the feet. But if you have a few more moments, bring yourself close to a wall, just like this. So your hip is close to the wall. And then you roll yourself this way, let the legs make their way all the way up the wall here. And depending on how much room you have in your hamstrings, how tight you are, you're going to walk your hips close to the wall. The hips, the buttocks do not have to touch the wall by any means. So if you have to be further away, that's fine. And then just let your arms relax up by the sides and let your feet lie up the wall this way. Bring yourself into the most comfortable position. So upper back nice and flat. I I strongly encourage you to try this out, even if it's just for a few moments. See how good this feels to reverse the sensation of gravity so that the legs are just relaxing. They are not taking any weight the way they carry us throughout the day. They are completely at rest here. Take the last few moments to rest with your feet up the wall. And by all means, let me know how this goes in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to get new content, always with the aim of feeling better in our bodies and calming the anxious mind. Enjoy, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.